Maestro, Taco Eater, Joe, what's going on? Ronnie, Brooklyn, Braden, Moose Von Pow, non-nurse, good evening. Skeezer, Mr. Wizards in the house, PJ Beals. Okay, Strimp. Okay, alrighty, all right. Good evening, everyone. My name is James. This is Dividend Stock Talk brought to you by the 10 Minute, where I invest in dividend stocks for weekly cash flow. Looking for a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week using nothing but pre-qualified dividend stocks. Those, my friends, are companies that are consistently profitable for at least 2 decades. What I'm looking to do, jump in, jump out, get a quick little profit, and move on to the next one. Really not that difficult. Created for my 9-year-old daughter in 2008. She said, "Daddy, what are you doing? Can you teach me?" That's what she said. "Daddy, can you teach me?" So how do you teach a 9-year-old how to invest in stocks when most adults don't understand it? Well, we're going to take a look at some stuff. Now, you guys are going to give me some stocks to take a look at. I'm going to throw them into the computer, take a look at them. Oracle went down. Oh, no. BP, let's take a look. Oracle. Don't look like it went down. Sit down. Sit tight. 1 second. Roku. Hold on a second there, AB. Oracle. That didn't go down today. Oh, take a look. See, it closed today at 223. So after hours, it's at 197. Okay. Okay, Exol, we'll take a look at that in a bit. Okay, BP, hold tight. I have no idea why that did. Wolf Pop, what's going on? Gotta pay the taxes on the money you make. Not necessarily so, user. Okay, Wolf Pop, I know you can't adduction pretty good. I'm not judging you off of what you are doing. I'm not judging you off of anything. You're actually pretty good. Well, thank you. Okay, that works for me. What do we have down here? Who's in the house? What's up, y'all? Beast is in the house. Okay, up, down, better late than never. Hey, I was in Orlando today. I had a meeting with a coder to try to figure out a spreadsheet because I got 7 accounts and I don't want to do the accounts one entry at a time. It's just a pain in the butt. So BP wanted to ask why Oracle went down after hours. 100%, I have no idea. I literally just walked in the door and turned on my computer. I'm running late, okay? But that's okay. The market closed at 223, but now she's at 197 after hours. So what happened after hours with Oracle? I can't really tell you that one. Look what happened today. Okay, this is today right here. Let me zoom in a little bit closer. Okay, 2 weeks ago was the bottom here at 185. And today she hit a high at 225. Well, think about it this way, BP. You got 185 here. Okay, she gets to 200. That's 15 bucks. And here's another 23 bucks. Add that together, that's $38. 38 bucks from the bottom here to top today. So you got $38 on an $18 stock. That's more than 20%. That's more than likely why it went down. Now I do have some Oracle, and I'm not going to panic. I'm just going to leave mine alone because I like the company. I don't mind owning Oracle, even though it did go down. I don't mind because that's what stocks do. Okay, down, up. What do you think was going to happen next? Seriously, what did you think is going to happen next? Bottom is here. It jumped up over 20%. Of course it's going to go down. People like me, and I tell you guys this all the time, stock jumps up 10, 15%, I'm jumping out. Well, if enough people jump out, yeah, it's going to drop. It's exactly what it did. Doesn't surprise me at all. Don't panic. Never sell at a loss. Rule 1 was never buy something you don't want to hold on to long term. Okay, fine. Number two, never sell at a loss because stocks go up, stocks go down. It's not in profit. Why? What do you mean it's not in profit? Okay, I'm not 100% sure, BP. We're talking. James, can we look at Duke Energy? Yes, Andrew, we'll take a look at that in a little bit. Hold tight, hold tight. So BP, oh, wait a second. All right, okay. All right. What do we got? Here we go. Okay, Xsolve wants to take a look at Amazon. Why do you want to take a look at Amazon? They don't have dividends. AMZM. Your high, your low, where was it a year ago? Where is it now? Look at this. Up, down, up, sideways, up, down, sideways. Again, 231. The 230s are going for 315. But here's the thing about Amazon. Amazon doesn't have dividends. So as the stock drops, you're not collecting anything. But if you like it, well, let's take a look. The last 30 days, or the last 90 days, that's the last 3 months. Okay, still same thing. Here's the top, the bottom, where it was, where it is. Look at this. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, so she is going up at the 231. The 232's 18. No, wait a second. No. I don't want to do the 12. I want to do the 19. Because we had 2 days left. Okay, so let's go out of 12 December, because that's this Friday. 19 December. The 232s. Let's do it. Let's do Amazon. See if you like it. Robert, how's it going there, Robert? Oh, we tickle friends. Is that right? WTF? We tickle friends. All right, WTF? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's what that means. WTF? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's got to mean something like that. All right. Anyway, Amazon. You like it? Let's take a look. The last 30 days. Okay, here's your last 30 days for Amazon. Top, bottom, look at this. Down, up, down. Now she's going up. Great. Well, let's look at the 230s. All right, let's do the 230s. It's a little safer. I like safety. James, should I do sell to close call options? Yeah. Okay, because you buy to open, then you sell to close. All right. Where are we? Okay, so we're getting out of here. We're going to look at the covered call on the 230s. There it is. Just one contract. What does it look like? There it is. Limit order. There we go. Here we go. Here's the order the way it should sound. Buy one covered call of Amazon. 19 December, which is not this Friday, but next Friday. So whoever buys this option, now I sell options, I don't buy them. Okay, 80% of all options expire worthless. So I don't want to buy them. I want to sell them. I have a higher probability of winning if I'm selling rather than buying. It's a little strange anyway. Anyway, so the $230 call option, my profit is 608. My investment is 22,395. All right, well, what's the rate of return there? Okay, so to find the rate of return, we take the 608 and 50 cents, and we're going to divide that by the purchase price, or the cost of the trade, including commissions and fees. 22,392. Okay, so 22,392 gives me a grand total of 2.7. Now, do you like 2.7? I do. 2.7 for 1 week, that's going to be over 150% per year, somewhere in that area. And then you ask yourself the question, is 2.7 every week, is that good or is it bad? Okay, I'm looking for 1% every week. 1% every week is over 50% per year. And I'm pretty much okay with it. You're going to offer me 2.7? Yeah, I'm going to take it if I like Amazon, which I don't because they don't have any dividends. But that's me. If you like it, that's a you thing. Let's see what it looks like. And here it is right here. And let's get these ones out of the way. Here's Amazon. This one is for today. Let's get those out of there. Here's Amazon right here. Amazon. 19 December. That's next Friday. The 2:30 call option. Here's my profit. Here's my investment. Okay? Simple, safe, predictable, consistent, 1% per week. That's what I'm looking for. Strip wants to take a look at Dow. We'll take a look at that in a second. Let's get rid of this. $2.7. Right there. 2.7. That works for me, if you like it. Okay, Strip wants to take a look at Dow. All right, I actually have some Dow at the moment. Let's do this. Get out of there. Back to single. Back to here. I'm going to put Dow. D-O-W. Here's Johnny. All righty, all righty. Here's the top. Here's the bottom. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at this. Down, sideways, 24.59. The 24.50s are going for 71. That's just shy of 3%. If you like Dow. Okay? Well, let's zoom in a little closer. Hold on. Let's get the glasses out. See what this thing looks like before I forget. All right. A year ago was the high of the year. 42.51 right there. 42.51 the high. And she drops like a rock, finds the bottom. Okay, we got a triple bottom here. Let's move this out of the way, get a better view. Okay, right there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, right at 2060. Okay, so here's the last 90 days, the last 3 months. Top, bottom, where was it? Where is it? Down, up, down, up. That's where we are right now. Do you like it? I like it. I like Dow. I already have some. I have no intention adding to my position. So let's take a look at Dow at 24.50. 24.50 for Dow, right there. One contract at the market. There we go. And here's Johnny by one covered call of Dow. 19 December. That's next Friday. Not this Friday, next Friday. The 24.50 call option. My profit is $65. Yeah, I know it's not a lot, but I'm only investing $2,300. Well, what rate of return is that? Now, I'm okay with 1% every week. What's this doing? Let's find out. Take the 65 divided by 23.85 gives me a grand total of 2.7, another 2.7. Why the hell not? We got some noise over here. What's going on over here, you guys? How you guys doing this evening? Who's here tonight? All right, Charles, James, KJ, Ruben, Richard, Mud. Ronnie Mud's in the house. All right, so 2.7. I like 2.7. It works for me. I don't know about you guys, but 2.7, why the hell not? That's another 2.7. Dow, 19 December. That's next Friday. Not this Friday, next Friday. The 24.50. 24.50. Profit 65. The investment's 20. Let's call it 2,400 for 2.7%. Now, if 1% a week is 50% per year, 2% a week is 100% per year. What's 2.7? 2.7 has got to be at least, I'm going to say 140. Let's find out. Multiply it by 52. Whoops. $2.7. Okay. So 2.7 multiplied by 52 gives me a grand total of 140%. Well, actually 142% for 1 year. If you're okay with Dow. The company's been in business for over 100 years. Why the hell not? All right, let's get out of that one. Alrighty. La la la. There we go. And right here. Okay, next on the list. AB wants to take a look at Roku. Is that right? Roku. All right, where is Roku? Wow. Where the hell? There it is right there. Now, AB, I don't think Roku is 20 years old. So why the hell are we looking at it? ROKU. Roku. Well, Roku, I'm not going to go any further. It's already going to be a no. Reason being, look at this. Okay? I don't buy it the high. It just doesn't make sense. Sorry. Not that I don't like it. JP Morgan. JP Morgan. Top, bottom, is. Look at this. Up, down, down. So it's actually coming down at the moment. Let's zoom into that a little closer. Here's your last 3 months. Okay, top, bottom, look at the motion. Okay, up, down, up, down. Sorry, not this week. William Bell, how are you today? William wants to take a look at Pepsi. Pepsi, look at that. Nice. High, low, was, is. Look at the motion. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, fine. We're at 149. 150 is going for 2. Hell yeah. If you like Pepsi. I love Pepsi. It's a dividend king. You know what that means? The company's been in business for over 100 years. They've consistently been profitable for 5 decades or more. So why not buy Pepsi? Let's find out. Okay. Last 3 months. Top, bottom. Where was it? Where is it? Down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay. So at 149 now, the top is right there. So we have all that space for movement. Now, what are you looking to get? Me, 1%. So if I jump in tomorrow, I want to get in, I want to get out within a week, which would be next Friday. Let's find out. The 150. Covered call, 150. There it is, right there. One contract. Market. Here we go. And buy one covered call Pepsi. 19 December. The 150 call option. 234, 14,000. Come on, that's got to be well over 2%. Let's check a look. Calculator, 234 divided by 14.766 gives me a grand total of 1.5. Okay, I can deal with 1.5 for Pepsi. It is a dividend king, after all. Why the hell not, 1.6. 1.58, let's call it 1.6. Here we go. And there she is, Pepsi. Woohoo! Pepsi. 19 December, 115 call options. 234, 14,766. If you like Pepsi. Why not? It's been in business for over 100 years. They're consistently profitable. Why wouldn't you like Pepsi? That's a good question. Okay, so. Okay, what do we have here for Pepsi? Pepsi's 1.6. 1.6. Nice, gotta love it. Dow, we looked at that one. Okay, so Tufan. How should I do? Sell to close options? It really depends on what it looks like. Okay, what about Pepsi? We just looked at Pepsi. ITRG. Jack Jake, could you share the 1% weekly ROI plan? So, Jack Jake, you're relatively new here. I'm here every night, brother. 9 p.m. I'm a little late tonight only because I had to meet up with a spreadsheet guy. So, yeah, the spreadsheets, is very important. It's like, where is the money coming from? Which stocks in particular? Because I've been trading the same stocks over and over and over and over again. But I never took the time to figure out which stock performs better than all the others. That's what the spreadsheet's for. And things ran into a little bit late. So here's the thing, Jake. What I'm looking for is a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. Now, for that, I use a trading strategy called the covered call. I buy just before the EX dividend date. I know there's a lot of working parts here. But the reason being, Jake, is because dividend stocks have a tendency to increase in value just before the EX date. So let's take a quick gander at that, and I can give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay? Here, behind me, is an EX dividend calendar. I love my little toy. It's kind of cool. The EX dividend calendar is nothing more than a regular calendar, except these little green dots. Now, it doesn't look like a lot at the moment, but there's all of them right there. You got 96, about 18, about 21, 68, 37, about 15, about 16, about 14, about 15, 123. Okay, a whole bunch. Companies that share their profits. Now, there's only two types of companies. Okay, there's what's called a growth stock and a income stock. So an income stock is what I'm looking for. I'm 61 going on 62. I collect Social Security next week. Not next week, next month. Okay? I don't have the luxury of being wrong. The money that I make in order to live my wonderful little lifestyle comes from my investments. So if I'm getting 1% per week on my investments, well, that's enough for me to live comfortably. And I'm okay with that. That's me. Okay, it takes me anywhere between 5 minutes to 20 minutes to balance out my account. Now, it's about an hour a week. Okay, Monday and Friday takes the most amount of time. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, not even 5 minutes. Okay, so an hour a week for 1%. Now, you got 50,000 bucks, 1% per week is $500 a week. Okay, now I get over 100,000 in my account, which means I get over $1,000 a week. I live very comfortably with that. Okay, now the reason why I like the dividend stocks and the calendar specifically is just before the stock pays the dividend, it has a tendency to increase in value. Well, let's take a closer look. There's 4 dates you need to keep in mind. Date number 1 is called the announcement date. That's when the spokesman of the company comes out and says, "Hey, everybody, this is James from Dividend Stock Talk. We made so much money this year, and as a dividend holder, you get to get all this kind of money. It's going to be a wonderful thing, blah, 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 blah." They just tell you what they're making and how you're going to get yours. That's all. It's just the announcement. Okay? Make themselves feel better. It's the announcement date. Date number 2 is the important one. That is called the EX dividend date. The EX dividend date is the last day the stock trades before the dividend is paid. That's the important one. Why? Because if you're interested in the dividend, you got to buy it before the little green dot. Okay? Third date, date of record. Whoever owns the stock on the date of record is entitled to the dividend. Date 4, payment date. Cha-ching! That's when you're getting your money. 4 dates. Announcement date, dividend, EX dividend date, date of record, and then payment date. Now, just before the EX date, stocks have a tendency to go up. So if the EX date is here on the 31st, I want to buy it 2 weeks on a Monday. Always on a Monday. The reason why I buy on a Monday is because I sell weekly stock options. Now, a weekly stock option goes from Monday morning at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time until 3:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. Because at 4 o'clock, the market closes. And if you don't do something between Monday at 9:30 and Friday at 3:30, no, 3:59, then you lose your money. Well, I'm a seller. I'm perfectly happy with people doing nothing because I make 1% every week and I'm perfectly okay with it. Why do I keep dropping this damn thing? So that being said, that's why I like dividend stocks. And if, Jack, if, okay, the 31st, remember the 31st, if I buy it on the 15th, I can collect 1% here. I can collect 1% here. I can collect another 1% here, and then I get to collect the dividend also. That's perfect. That's like triples my income. If I'm investing in dividend stocks, that little tidbit right there can triple my income. Good. Okay, so dumpster fire. Oh, dumpster fire. ITRG. What the hell is that? ITRG. ITRG. Integra Res Corporation. Hell no. Who came up with that one? No options, no thank you. Now, I do weekly options with dividend stocks. No options, no thank you. No dividends, no thank you. No 20 years of profits, no thank you. It's pretty simple. Every Monday, I check to see how many dividend stocks, how many stocks are out there. Well, this week, there's 10,710. 10,710 companies that you can invest in. So which one makes sense to you? Me, it's pretty specific. Am I going to be profitable on a weekly basis? I only want to spend 5 or 10 minutes on time. That's all I want to spend. I don't want to be in front of the computer all day. I have better things to do. Okay? I'll watch reruns of Gilligan's Island rather than sitting in front of the damn computer. I don't like it. Okay? You can only look at this so long before it drives you nuts. Now, you got to come up with a number that works for you. Now, 1% a week works for me quite nicely. Miller built Joe Morgan will crash. Not quite sure what that means, Joe, but alrighty then. Too Fine wants to take a look at Intel. INTC. Intel. There we go. Okay. Now, here's your top. Here's your bottom. Here's where it was a year ago. Here's where it is now. Look at the motion. Okay. Sideways, up, down. Well, what did you think was going to happen? The bottom is here at 18. Okay. The top is 44. That is a 100% increase. Okay. Well, 100% increase. Of course, you're going to have profit taken. So she's coming down now. Let's look at the last 90 days, last 3 months. Here's your last 3 months. Bottom, top. Where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Up, down, up, down. Of course it's coming down. What goes up must come down. Spinning wheels got to go round. Stop all your troubles by the riverside. Ride a painted pony. Trip, why are we looking at Palantir? Let's pull it up. Palantir. I don't like Palantir. Okay, let's do Yahoo Finance. There we go. All right, Yahoo Finance. Now, Trip, I'm going to show you why I don't like Palantir. You can invest in what you want. I'm just telling you why I don't like it. Sit tight for a second. PLTR. Palantir, come on down. Come on. Got a little bit of slow internet. Has anybody else noticed that the internet lately is getting slower and slower? Has anybody noticed that? Could it be more and more people are jumping on? I don't know. Let's find out. Come on. Now touch me, baby. Can't you see? Why is it not going? Why am I not seeing this? Oh, come on. It's taking a while. All right, so while that's loading, let's look at something else. Wait, all right, here it is, Palantir. Okay, it's at 187. Now, before I go any further, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at historical performance, historical data. Okay, on the bottom left-hand corner, historical data. Well, historical data tells you every single opening, every single high, every single low, every single dividend. What I want to look at is the dividends because there's only two different kinds of stock. One is a growth stock, one is an income stock. Okay, growth stock companies take their profits and put it back in to the company for growth. All right, so now we're here. Okay, we got the dates, the open, high, low, close, and the volume. All very valid, very important numbers. But what I'm interested in is the dividends only. Now, the reason why I want to look at the dividends, okay, Trip, the reason I want to look at the dividend is because the dividend is a portion, a very small portion of the company's profits. So as the company is profitable, they increase their dividend. That's the money that they share with the investors. That's us. We buy, we sell, we are the investors. We own the shares. We are entitled to a portion of the company's profits. So if the company is profitable this year and more profitable than they were last year, well, then our dividends should go higher. But Palantir has no dividends. So why the hell are we looking at it? Okay, I don't like stocks that don't have dividends because I'm 60. How old am I? I'm 62. Going to be 62. PLTR. Okay, and it's going to be a no anyway. Now the reason it's going to be a no, your top is here. Okay, 210. She drops to 150. That's a $60 drop. Then from 150, she shoots up to 187. Okay, so from here, 150 to 190, because that's the high right there, that's 40 bucks. 40 bucks on a $150 stock, 20, 30, 20%. That's over. Yeah, right around 20. Wait a minute. 150 to 190, that's 40 bucks. 20, all right, it's like 23%. That from here to here is 23%. What makes you think just because it's Palantir, it's going to go over 20%? Okay, it went up 20% already, like 22 or so. So normally you can have profit taking coming right around the corner. Yeah, and besides, I don't buy at the high. That's time to sell, not to buy, in my humble opinion, of course. Glow Stick Uma wants to take a look at She. I heard dividends are mostly good when you are retired or close to it. I am retired. Okay. Okay. You actually come to an old man's show. Okay. Yeah. I am retired. I've been retired for 2 years. My goal is a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. That's over 50% per year. I'm perfectly okay with a 50% per year retirement. I am. Okay, if I have 100 grand, 50% is 50 grand. And my 100 still stays there. So I can get 50 grand every single year. But here's the thing, I get more than 1%. Well, that's more than 50%. I didn't want to say more than 50. People freak out with, what do you mean 50? Nobody gets 50. No, nobody does get 50%. Very rarely does someone get 50% or more. Okay. So no to Palantir for two reasons. One, no dividends. Two, she jumped 22%. Why the hell do I want to jump on that pony? It's probably tired or pull back. Back to the 70s. Yeah, thanks, Lemonade. Bit2 wants to take a look at Harley Davidson. Here we go. So, Harley Davidson, the high right there, 34, bottoms out at 21, shoots up to 31, drops to 22. That's where we are now. Down, up, down. Okay, but look right there. That's awesome right there. We're going to zoom into that in a little bit. But before we do, 22.44. We're going to look at the 22.50s. The 22.50s, 50 cents. That's more than 2%. And it's Harley Davidson. You ain't got a hog. Here's your chance to grab one. Okay? Let's take a look. A year ago, I'm going to need the glasses for this. Because believe it or not, okay, I got to put the glasses on. If I could, I'd turn the camera so you can see where the big screen TV, the big screen monitor is. This thing is a monster. It's like 60 inches. It's right there, 5 feet away from me. I can almost reach out and touch it. Watch this. Okay, here's my hand. Okay, here, I'm touching the screen. Okay, this thing's 5 feet away from me, and I still need glasses. Explain that one to me. Okay, when I was younger, I wouldn't need glasses. But now that I'm getting older, yeah, I do need the glasses. Getting old ain't any fun. Enjoy life while you're young. Oh, my God, I feel so much better. All right. The last 90 days, which is the last 3 months. Okay, here's your top. Drops, bounces, bottom, right there. Now, if you didn't know, if I need to explain it, here I go. Are you ready? This, my friends, yesterday was the bottom of the year for Harley Davidson. Now, you've heard it ever since you could probably remember. Buy low, sell high. Well, to be the bearer of wonderful news, you cannot get any lower than the low of the year. That was yesterday. Now, I don't ever buy at the low because I could never pick a bottom. Okay, so I look for 2 days to the upside. Today was one. Now, I already have some Harley Davidson, but I might dollar cost average if she goes up again tomorrow. Okay, we ended up at 22.44 today. So tomorrow, if she's above 22.44, I might jump in to do some dollar cost averaging because, yeah, I already own some. But I have no problem buying Harley Davidson. Let's find out why. Let's get out of this. We're going to do a covered call at 22.50 because I like Harley Davidson. 22.50, here we go. Whoops, nope. I don't want to do 10. I want to do just 1. And I want to do it at the market. Now, the reason I want to buy everything at the market, I buy at the market, I sell limit order. Now, if you don't know the difference between the two, buying at the market is an American term. At the market, give it to me now. I don't care what the price is. That's what at the market means. Give it to me now. I don't care what the price is. That's what I do. I buy that in the morning. Give it to me now. I don't care what the price is. But I only do that when I'm entering into a covered call because a covered call is 2 trades in 1. I'm buying the stock. I'm selling the option. Now, the reason why I do that is because I already know what the profit's going to be because the stock and the option are tied together. If I was going to do it separately, it would be limit orders. But when I do it together, it's market orders and it fills instantaneously. First thing in the morning, this thing will fill, which means by the afternoon, tomorrow morning, I will get all that money into my account. So let's do this one. Here we go. Here's Johnny. Buy one covered call, Harley Davidson, 19 December. That's next Friday. The $22.50 call option. So if the stock is $22.50 or higher, someone's going to take this away from me. I don't care. As long as I'm in a profit, I really honestly don't care. Because I will buy Harley Davidson, hold it for a week, get the little bit of profit. When she comes back down to a level that looks good, I will do it again. I will buy and sell Harley Davidson 3, 4, 5 times a year because the setup is right. They find a good company, keep your eye on it. They go up, they go down. When it comes down, I look at it. When it hits that bottom, turns around, I start looking at the numbers because I got 5 rules when I invest. Okay, rule 1, never buy something I don't want to own. Well, that's kind of stupid because, well, it's just stupid because that's what you should do. You should never buy something you don't want to own. If you can't see yourself owning Harley Davidson to the day you die, you're on your deathbed and you say, son, I got to take my Harley Davidson stock. Here you go. I'm not going to make it through the night. If you can't picture yourself owning it for the rest of your life, don't buy it. Okay? That's number 1. Number 2, never sell at a loss. If I buy Harley Davidson at $22.55, I ain't going to sell it for less than $22.55. Well, I might sell for $22.50 if I can get a nice enough number. So, buy one covered call Harley Davidson, 19 December, $22.50, $66 is the profit. Now, each one of these trades I do is going to have a different profit. It's going to have a different rate of return. But what I'm looking for is a 1% every single week. Now, I only do stocks that have weekly options. Why do you think that is? Well, I'm retired now, so I have no problem jumping in first thing in the morning, taking a look. What did I buy? Where's it at now? What does it look like it's going to do between now and Friday? So, do I keep it, roll it into next week, or do I let it go and find something else? 66.21. Let's grab the calculator. If 66 is my profit, I'm going to divide it by my investment. 21.84 gives me a rate of return of 3%. Hell yeah. Harley Davidson, 3%? Why the hell not? But ask yourself the question, do you like Harley Davidson? It's an American icon. They've been in business for over 100 years. Why wouldn't you like it? Now, you might not like the motorcycle. It might not be a thing for you, but it's an American company. It's an American icon. All right, anyway, here we go. Let's take a look. Whoops. Harley Davidson at 3%. Here she is right there. Harley Davidson, 19 December, $22.50 call option, 66 the profit, 2100 is the investment. Now, anytime you make an investment, whether it's in real estate, whether it's in an antiques, whether it's in a collectible car, whether it's in baseball cards, stamps, coins, whatever, you have to put some money in order to get a rate of return. So what kind of investments do you want to do? Do you want to invest in stocks, options, futures, cryptocurrency, Forex? That's the one I was thinking, Forex. Anyway, 3%. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. %3. Yeah, look at it. We got 4 of them already. Not even an hour here, and we already got 4 companies that look good. Okay, Glowstick wants to take a look at SHI. SHI. I have no idea what that is. True. This is my 4th week trading with this system. In every week, all of my calls have been assigned. This might be the first week I'm left holding stock come Monday morning. Hey, Beast Within, how are you doing? I know that's happening with Campbell Soup. Yeah, that was funny. That kind of thing happens all the time. All right. Camera is buffering. Sorry, guys. All right, so, yeah. So, DigSurg. Yeah, this is, I am retired. So you said, I heard dividends are mostly good for your retired, if you're retired or close to it. I am retired. That's why I invest in dividend stocks. That's funny. All right, we did Harley Davidson. Asif wants to take a look at Procter and Gamble. I love Procter and Gamble. Procter and Gamble, dividend king. They've been in business for over 100 years. They have 5 decades of increased profits. So why the hell not buy them? Procter and Gamble. Here we go. Look at it. Almost looks the exact same as Harley Davidson. Look at that. Okay, the high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Down, up, down. What's going on right here? 139.82. Come on. 140. The closest number here to 139.82 is going to be the 140. And that's going for 161. That's more than 1%. Procter & Gamble, over 100 years old. Dividend king. 5 decades of increased profits. 5 decades. Do you understand 5 decades of increased profits? That means this year, next year, year after, year after, year after, year after, for 5 decades. Higher and higher and higher profits. Why the hell not? All right. Last 90 days. Top, bottom, where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Down, sideways, down, now up. Look at that. I'm going to zoom in really close to this so you can see this right there. Okay? Top, drops. Okay? Monday's the bottom. Tuesday was higher. Wednesday was higher. That's what I'm looking for. The company's over 100 years old. 5 decades of increased profits. The bottom was Monday. Tuesday's 1 day higher. Wednesday, today, 2 days higher. If this baby jumps in at 139.83 tomorrow, I'm jumping in. That's what I like. 2 days up. On the third day, I will jump in. That's what I like. So let's take a look. Procter & Gamble. Oh, the 140s right there. Here we go. 140. Okay, what do we have down here? U2. Uh-oh. Mr. Flairwoo wants to take a look at Pfizer. Figures traders are licking their chops now to get in. Yep. Hopefully now it looks like it might be bouncing. Well, yeah, it does. 2 days to the upside. I love 2 days. 3 days is even better. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. Procter & Gamble. Buy one covered call, Procter & Gamble, 19 December, 140 call, 152's profit, 13,000 is the investment. What rate of return is that? Anybody right off the top of your head? No? Nobody can do that off the top of their head. Okay, Bit2, SoFi, no. We looked at that last night. It was a no last night, and more than likely it's going to be a no again today. So 152 is the profit. The investment, 13,848. 13,848. Well, let's try that one again. Divide 13,848. All right, grand total of 1.1. That's crappy, but still, it's over 1%. And it's Procter & Gamble. Why not? It's over 100 years old. All right, so and here we go. All right, so that being said, here it comes. Come on. 1, 2, 3, boom. Nope. Yep, there it is right there. There we go. Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble, 19 December. The 140 call option. 152 is the profit. 14,000 is the investment. Anytime you're going to make a rate of return, you have to put something into it. You got to have some skin in the game. Nobody's going to give you money for not, investing. You got to put something up. All right. What did we say this one was? 1.1. All right. $1.1. Yay! 1 point. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. Let's call it a night. Let's quit for the day. Next. What do we have next? All right. Somebody wanted to take a look at Pfizer. Hold on. Pfizer. PFE. Okay, not quite sure what's happening there, but here you got a double top. One there, one there. Bottom's right there. April. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay. 25.78. We'll look at the 25.50s. Let's go for 63. That works. The last 90 days, last 3 months, top, bottom. Look at where it was, where it is. Up, down, up. 25.78. The 25.50 is going for 63. If that makes sense to you, buy it, sell it, make a small profit. How do I learn your system? You got 2 choices. 1, you can sign up for one of my training programs, or 2, just keep showing up, keep asking questions. Sounds logical, right? All right, so last 30 days. Okay. Up, down, up, down, up, down. I'm going to say no to Pfizer for this week. Sorry. The Shop Panda. How are you today, Miss G7? Okay, Shop Panda, thank you for that. Flower Bed Creations. Chino W. Eric Haney. What's happening, Eric Haney? Milo, what's going on? All right, what do we have here? Zillville. How to Win. Good evening. That looks like a cool video game. It does look like a cool video game, doesn't it? Trip. Bud Jones. When you run out of gas, you got to walk. Okay. Not quite sure what it has to do with what we're talking about. What's the next video game called? You sell motorcycles? No, I don't sell motorcycles. K Van, if you dollar cost average Harley Davidson, will you buy it outright or sell it up? No. I always sell options. There's not a single stock, a single thing in my possession, not a single stock in my possession in which I do not get something from it every single week. That's it. Every single week, I want something from my money. Okay, She. Well, we haven't even looked at She yet. SHI. Sig Place. No options. No, thank you. Sorry, dude. Glow Stick. Danny. Juice the Earth. As a 24-year-old, how do I start? Well, MC, the very first thing you got to do is change your mindset. Now, D-Nut. Isn't that Krispy Kreme? Andred. Oh, Andre the Giant. D-Nut, that's Krispy Kreme. Okay, so MC, as a 24-year-old, how do I start? You get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, you take your little ass to work, you put your 40 hours of work in every single week, you take a little bit of that and you put it into an investment strategy, and you work 30, 40 years of your life. And then you get to the age of 50, 60 years old, then you get to retire. That's how you start. But it first starts in the thinking. Can I do it? Is this something I think I can do? Can I make a commitment to myself? Because it's almost like having a dog or a cat. It's a commitment. You have to take care of your dog and take care of your cat. Got a garden, tomatoes, cucumbers, squash. You got to make a commitment to that too. Water, weed it, and then you get a nice little harvest. Okay, you take care of your dog, it gives you love, unconditional. Okay, to get started, it's all in the mind first. You take one step at a time. Okay, that's it. You make the decision to do it, and then you just do it one day at a time. You take a little bit of your money and you put it into something safe that you like. Okay, the rules were very simple for my 9-year-old daughter. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent, no way for her to lose. That's for my daughter, 9 years old. Okay, so the 5 rules were very simple. Rule 1, never buy something you don't understand or you don't want to hold on to. If you don't know who AT&T is, don't buy it. You don't know who Harley Davidson is, don't buy it. You don't know who Procter & Gamble is, fine, don't buy it. Never buy something you don't understand and you don't want to hold on to. That just doesn't make sense. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is once you make that decision, never sell at a loss. It defeats the purpose of the game. Rule 3, and this one boggles my mind out of everything. Rule 3, never invest in a company that's not consistently profitable. That's like the stupidest thing. Why are you investing in a company? It's not profitable. But people do. They buy the weirdest crap. And then I'm like saying, what the hell are you thinking? Rule 4, weekly options only. Now that's for me. Okay, see, I like weekly options. Okay, growing up in the 60s and 70s, we got up 8 o'clock in the morning, went to work Monday morning. Friday at 4:30, we were done. Same thing with the stock market. I jump in at 9 o'clock, and on Friday afternoon at 4, I'm done. And then I enjoy a Saturday and Sunday, and I just take a rest and have a good time. But always make sure when you start, make sure you understand what you're doing. Make sure it makes sense to you. Never buy something you don't want to hold on to. Never sell at a loss. That just should be second nature. Okay, if you buy it and it drops, yeah, they all do. Look at this. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. That's all they do. They go up, they go down. You're buying it when it's down, you're selling it when it gets up. How high up? Well, that's up to you. Me, I like to get out at 2, 3, 4%. Okay, yes, some people wait to 10, 20% before they get out. Some people don't get out at all. They just want to collect the dividends. There's nothing wrong with any one of those strategies. We're all different. Okay, we all have different goals in mind. We all have different risk factors. Some stuff might make sense to me that doesn't make sense to you. Some stuff you guys buy, and I think to myself, what the hell were you thinking? I do that a lot every single night. What the hell are you thinking? Next. Monkey ball. Stocks pay tiny dividends. Monkey balls. I'm looking for 1% a week. Terribly sorry if 1% a week is not enough for you. But if you add it up, simple math, second, third grade, use 1 plus 1 equals 2. Well, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, 52 times is over 50% per year. Now, you no matter how you look at it, okay, you're trading your time for money. Now, most people put in 8, 10 hours a day into work, and they're trading 8 or 10 hours of their time for some money, whatever their salary is. Well, I do the same thing. I'm trading my time for money. Okay, it takes me 10 or 15 minutes to take a look at my stocks. Okay, and I'm looking for that 1%. Great, 10 or 15 minutes, I'm getting 1%. I'll do it again tomorrow. Okay, and I'll do it again the next day and the next day. And I'll get 1% every single week. But the thing is, monkey balls, the little tiny 1% that I'm collecting, that's over $1,000 a week. And I'm perfectly okay with that. I don't do a whole hell of a lot. Okay, I do more here with you guys than I do with my own personal finances. And I don't get paid for doing this shit with you guys. I do this for free only because I'm creating a video diary for my children and my grandchildren. So you think whatever you want to think, perfectly okay. But I'm not doing this for you, okay? In 10, 20 years, when I'm gone, these videos will still be here for my children and my grandchildren. And I got an evil, evil plan in my head that I want to make it so that, Papa G lives forever. Because I have all these cool ideas that I'm going to be doing for the next couple of years. For the next 10 to 15 years, I'm taking everything that I have up here, and I got a lot. And I'm going to create a TV. We're working on a new TV channel come January. We're going to get our own Roku channel. And then the old Roku channel is going to have one story after another after another. So it's going to be rather interesting. I've never had my own TV channel before. I thought it'd be interesting. So let's see what happens. All right, that being said, what's the downsize? User namey. User mamey? All right, 2. User mamey 2. What's the downside? Well, the downside is you actually have to give up some of your time to learn it. You're going to give up some of your time to do it. And then you actually got to put your money on the line. There's your downside. Now, here's an interesting thing you may or may not have thought of. If you buy something and it drops, I bought it at $30, now it's at 24. From $30 to 24 is a $6 drop. That's 20%. From here to here is 20%. This thing just went down 20%. Am I going to panic and sell? No, I like AT&T. Okay, and if I own the stocks, that allows me to have however many contracts. If I buy 500 shares, I got 5 contracts. I can sell those 5 contracts every single week, regardless of what the price is. Because if the price is here, great, that's at the money. Okay, at the money, in the money, out of the money. Okay, wait a second. Let's do it this way. Hold on. Hold on. Wrong one. I don't want that one. I want that one. Let's get rid of this. No, it doesn't work that way. I gotta remember it's a monitor. Okay, so let's go do this. Alrighty, so user mammy 2. Okay. regardless of what I buy the stock at. If I buy a stock at $100 and now it's at 10, I honestly don't care. Because the interesting thing about stocks is when you buy 100, 200, 400, 500, 900, 1200, however many you buy, each 100 shares equals to one contract. Does it matter what the contract is? No, it doesn't matter at all. We already looked at Netflix. Okay? SnipeX, we already looked at Netflix earlier. Okay, so if I own the stocks, regardless of what price I own it at, you got to keep that in mind, regardless what price I own it at. You have this line right here. Okay? That's at the money. The difference between the black and the purple, that's at the money. Black, purple. Black, purple. Okay? The black is ITM, in the money. Okay? OTM. Now, over this side are the puts. Over this side are the calls. Calls, if you think the stock's going up, you get in the money. Okay? If you think the stock's going to go down, out of the money. If you think it's going to stay right where it is, at the money. All right? So as the stocks go up and down, whatever I buy it at, that's my entry. If the stocks go up, I adjust the in the money, at the money, out of the money crap. Okay? If my stock goes down, I want to do out of the money. If the stock goes up, I want to do in the money. Reason being is I want to make sure that I'm consistently profitable and not taking it too much of a risk of losing. I don't like doing that. Okay, so hopefully that explains something to you, user Mammy too. Okay. Andre the Giant, yes, thank you. You're welcome. All right. D-Nut, Andre the Giant, D-Nut. Let's take a look. Well, let's change this. He wants to take a look at Krispy Kreme. Why do you want to take a look at Krispy Kreme? D-Nut. Here we go. Krispy Kreme. Top, bottom, where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Down, sideways. 470. The fives are going for 10. I'm going to say no to this. And the reason I'm saying no to this is, look, 0 is 0. If you're wrong and the stock drops, you're not getting anything. Mike Sweeney, I'm pretty sure the market maker only does really good premiums when the stock is about to go down. Not necessarily so, Mike, because sometimes the market maker increases the premiums during the weeks of dividends and sometimes during the weeks of earnings. Anything major that's happening, the market maker will have a tendency to try to take advantage of it. Okay, so you got to be leery of the market maker sometimes. I really don't pay too much attention to the market maker. I'm more interested in what's the stock at right now. Where does it look like it's going? This one's going up. See, the bottom is here, like 250. Now it's at 470. It's slowly going up if you like it. Now, the only reason I don't like it is there's not enough premiums there. If I'm wrong, I get nothing, and I don't like that. There are other companies that have better premiums. Remember what I said earlier. There's 10,710 different companies that we can invest in. The number changes every week. But if there's 10,710, well, why would I want to buy this one if there's a possibility that I could get nothing if the stock goes down? I don't want to do that. Yeah, Mikey Balls, stocks pay tiny dividends. I'm aware of that. I have no problem with the tiny dividends because it works for me. Oh, Wallet Whisperer. Wally World. Let's take a look. WMT. Wally World. Hell no. That was quick, wasn't it? Now, the reason why I said hell no so quick So I've been doing this long enough. It takes me 3 to 4 seconds to size up a chart. I'm looking for 5 things. Okay, you should be able to take a look at the chart, and within 3 to 4 seconds, it's a yes or a no. Really quick, yes, no. What am I looking for? Where's the high of the year? Today. Yeah, no. I don't have to look any further. That's it. I don't have to look any further. The high of the day, high of the year, today. Nope. I don't want to look anymore. Okay. High, low. Where was it a year ago? Where is it now? Look at the motion. Up, down, up. Okay. Well, today is the high of the year. No, thank you. Next. Okay. Anytime I look at a chart, what about WFG? Sunny Low, what the hell is that? Dr. Dev's in the house. WFG. What Friday's good? Okay. No. December, January, February, May. Now, did you see that? Sunny? Sunny. December, January, February, May. When I say weekly options only, 12 December, that's this Friday. 19 December, that's next Friday. 26 December, that's 2 Fridays away. 2 January, 3 Fridays away. 9 January, 4 Fridays away, so on and so forth. I only do weekly options. Sorry, Sonny. I don't do monthlies. They just don't work out for me. 0 days to expiration. Ain't going to happen, Exolve. I don't do that. Okay? Mr. Wizard, what's the risk? Mr. Wizard, here's the risk. Are you ready for this? Most people aren't ready for this. Hold on. Hold on a minute. Thanks, Sonny. All right. She did that one. It's 24. Got that one. Paid dividend. Blah, 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 blah. Where are we? How do we learn how to do all this stuff? It's not that difficult, Dave. Okay, Dave, you're new here. I'm really good with names. It's the first time I've seen you here. Okay? Just show up. Just ask questions. Whatever you have in your head, get rid of it, because we're not doing your normal everyday trading. We're not. I'm looking for a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. That's over 50% per year. That's what I'm looking for. Okay? I only want companies that are consistently profitable. There's only about 300 of them. Okay? Consistency, profitability, and weekly options. I want to do a weekly option every week to get a 1% weekly basis. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, just keep showing up, keep asking questions, or you can just go buy one of my books, or you can just join my live trading group and I'll walk you through the whole thing. It's your choice. You can do what you want. Okay, but here I'm not trying to sell you anything. Okay, here I'm just, doing this. So Xsolved, XDTE, that's 0 days to expiration. Yeah, I don't do that. Some people do that. Mr. Wizard wants to know what the risk is. Okay, Mr. Wizard. Ooh, Luke wants to take a look at Tootsie Roll. Luke, we'll take a look at that in a minute. Hold tight. Okay, so, Mr. Wizard, here you go. You ready? You're not going to like this. You're not. Okay, risk. Okay, you ready? Okay. If you decide not to get out of bed today or tomorrow, you run the risk of getting fired. You don't go to work, you run the risk of your wife leaving you. You don't go to work, you run the risk of not getting enough money to pay your bills. Okay, let's say you get dressed and you go to work. Well, you run the risk of getting a traffic ticket. You run the risk of getting run over. You run the risk of getting in a car accident. Once you get to work, you get the risk of pissing off your boss and getting fired. Okay, you don't go to work, you run the risk of not getting paid. There's risk in everything you do. Everything you do or do not do, there is a risk. You just have to balance out what's risky, what's not risky. So let's put it this way. Let's say you don't invest. You just take all your money and you put it into the savings account. There's a risk to that. Huge risk. And if you ask that question, yeah, well, you haven't been paying attention to the news. Not the news that's on the TV, the news that they don't want you to know what's going on. Why do you think all that news, they're yelling and screaming at you all the time? Why do you think they want the Democrats fighting with the Republicans? Why do you think the ICE is having issues? Because they're creating all this noise so you don't see what's happening in the background. There's your risk by not paying attention. There's risk everywhere. When you ask where's the risk, be more specific. MC, 1% of what? I have to invest is nothing. Well, then great. Then you should do just fine. 1% of nothing is nothing. There you go. You'll be just fine. Okay, YNKMD, Coca-Cola. I like Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, hold the phone. So Coca-Cola is at 70.21. The 70s are going for 84. The 71s are going for 37. So I'm going to say no to Coca-Cola only because if you do the numbers, it's not 1%. Okay? The current price is 70.29. So if I do the 70s, I'm losing 29 cents right off the top. You take it off of here. Okay? Now I'm getting 50 cents. That's not 1%. Very real. I think I've done excuse me. I think I've done Coca-Cola 3 times in 30 years. 3 times in 30 years. Now, Coca-Cola, they've been in business for over 140 years. They're dividend kings. 5 decades have increased profits. It's like the cream of the crop. They don't have to pay a good premium. So they don't. It is what it is. QBTS, Samsahara. QBTS. D-Wave Quantum Incorporated. Okay, top, bottom. Where was it? Where is it? Sideways, up, down, up, down. It's coming down at the moment. Doesn't really look that good. Okay, here's your 30-day top, 30-day bottom. She shoots up, pulls back up. Now she's coming back down again. Not this week, maybe next week or the week after. West Fraser Timber. Okay, West Fraser. Didn't we look at WFG? Yeah, no. Real Joy Dude. I like your strategy. Could you please elaborate the benefits of a covered call? Thanks. Okay, so Real Joy Dude. The nice thing about a covered call is you know what your profit's going to be before you even jump into the trade. It's one of the safest trades that are out there. It is so safe that the federal government allows you to do covered calls in your IRA. So a lot of trading strategies you cannot do in your IRA. You can do the covered call. Okay, think of it this way. If I buy AT&T at $24.39, I can sell it at $24.50, pick up a little over 1%. If I do it every single week, that's 50% per year. If I only do good quality companies, sell them for exactly what I paid for them, my risk would be if it dropped. Well, if it dropped, I already liked the company anyway, or I wouldn't have bought it. That's rule 1. Never buy something you don't want to own. Next. Alrighty. So SnipeX says, so all that matters is that we buy quality companies at every 30 to 50% drop. I didn't say that. Especially if they are dividend payers. I didn't say that either. What I'm looking for is good quality companies that are consistently profitable. You look, they go up, they go down, they go up, they go down. The timing is the biggest thing. At the top here, she goes down here. Okay, as she's going up, that's where I want to jump every day, not the bottom. I'm not gonna feed you any BS. I don't buy bottoms because I don't find them. I'm not very good at finding the bottoms. But what I'm good at is, here's the bottom here. I want 2 days to the upside. Here's 1, here's 2, here's the 3rd day. That's where I would jump in. So I would miss that, I would miss that, and I would miss that, and I'd only catch this. But I'm fine with that. 24 and it jumps up to 25. It's only $1. But a $1 on a $24 stock, well, that's 5%. I'm only looking for 1. I'm looking for 1% on a weekly basis on a good quality company. You either like the company or you don't. AT&T, General Motors, IBM, Harley Davidson, Ford, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Home Depot, Lowe's. I could go on and on and on. There's about 300 of them that have been consistently profitable for more than 2 decades. That's 20 years. I don't do companies that are 3 to 5 years old. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'm 61. I do listen very closely. I do not have the luxury of being wrong. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but this year, out of all the trades that I've done, I must have done at least 2,500 trades. I've lost 4 times. 4 out of 2,500. I think that's pretty damn good. But I'm extremely, what do you call that? Frugal's one word. Safe is another. Cautious is another. But I do make 1% or more every single week. I think like 4 times this year, I have not made my 1%. Okay, but there are sometimes this year that I made 3, 4, 5% during the week. So it kind of offsets. So I'm perfectly fine. Next. All right. Done there. Wow. QBTS. Not going to do that one. Because they are traitors to the American people. Okay. Not quite sure what we're talking about. How much are you investing in options to make 1%? At least 3 million. Okay? So I invest at least 3 million to make 1%. That's over $30,000 a week. I don't think that's that bad. Up down trader MC, is 1% a week a lot? No, it's not. But 1% a week is over 50% per year. So whether you have $1,000, whether you have $10,000, whether you have 10 million, 1% is still 1%, and 1% every single week comes to comes up to 50% per year or more. Nike, Sunny Low, Nike. So when you say you only lost 4 times this year, does that mean you sold it for a loss? It's not what it means at all. Okay. Now, one time, I say this to everybody, everyone. Eventually, I don't care how good you are. I don't care how many times or how often you've been trading. I've been trading for over 30 years. Everybody at one point in their trading pushes the wrong button. So Asif, one time this year, and this was a kind of embarrassing, and it kind of pissed me off too. And it was funny as hell. Embarrassing, funny, and it pissed me off. Okay? So we are live in the morning. So I have a live trading group. A bunch of people watch me trade, and they get ask me questions, and we actually walk through all the trades every single morning. So one morning, here we are making these trades, clickety, 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 and click. And it's like, shit! I hit the wrong button and lost, I think it was like $2,500. If I hit the wrong button, everybody does it. I've pushed the wrong button before. Yep, Dr. Devs does it. Nope. Almost everybody I know who's ever been traded has hit the wrong button at one point in time. What really pissed me off is that I was live with about 30 people watching me. They all watched me do it. Nobody said a thing. That's what pissed me off. Like, come on, guys, you saw me do this. Nobody said anything. $2,500, just like that. It happens. We all hit the wrong button at one time. Last one for tonight, KMB, Kimberly Clark. Gotta love it. KMB, Kimberly Clark. Ooh, interesting. Look at this right there. Nice. Top, bottom. Where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Down, up, down, up. Okay, 103. The 103 is going for 165. That's a hell yeah. I love Kimberly Clark. Again, another dividend king. 5 decades of increased profits. Why the hell not? Let's take a look at the numbers. James Owen. We already looked at Oracle earlier today. Kimberly Clark, last 90 days. The last 3 months. Oh, shit, I don't like doing that. That happens once in a while. Okay, here we go. Last 30 days. Last 90 days. Okay, last 90 days. Top. Boom. Back up, back down, back up. Okay. 30 days. Here's the last 30 days. Up, down, up, down, up. Okay. Bottom was on Monday. Tuesday was higher. Today was higher. That's 2 days to the upside. Okay. Tomorrow, if she's above 103.14, I'd be jumping in. I'm not going to because all my money's gone. All my money's invested on Monday. Okay. Now, if you understand time, which we all do, tick tock, ain't no way you're going to stop the clock. Monday morning, I buy all my stocks. I sell all my options Monday morning, because Monday morning at 9:30 is when the market opens for the week. The market closes for the week at 3:59 p.m. on Friday. So the most time value you're going to have during the week, Monday morning to Friday afternoon. So all my money is invested Monday morning. I do it week after week after week after week. Yeah, I miss out on a lot of trades. If I see something good on Wednesday, I don't get it. I don't sweat it, because I make 1% every single week, Monday through Friday. So I'm okay with it. Okay, James, we already did Oracle. So let's do this one. KMB. All right, let's there. Here we go. And here we go. What do we got with the 103? The 103 is right there. Here we go. One contract of Kimberly-Clark is going to look something. Okay, what are you guys doing down here? In the morning and watch him trade, and there's a group of people that talk and discuss the stocks and strategies and so forth with him that are part of that program. Oh, a Discord group with James would be awesome. I do have a Discord group, and I also have a live trading session, which basically means we jump in at 9 a.m. You actually watch me trade 3 live accounts at like 9:35. It's open for questions. So I will take a look at your account if you want me to. I will give you ideas, but I won't give you tips and I won't give you advice. I mean, I can't tell you what to do. I could, but I'm not going to, because I don't want to take that responsibility. Okay, you need to take accountability for your own choices. I can point you in the direction, I can give you the map with a big old X on it, but it's your responsibility to do your own research and to actually take responsibility for your own trading. Okay, so I get no problem whatsoever allowing you to see everything that I do. I got no problem with that. And then you can say, whoa, oh, step back, James. Can you explain that one to me a little bit better? And I will, and I do. Okay, it takes me 20 minutes to do my all 7 accounts. Well, after that, it's mostly just questions and answers. And that's what people are paying for. You're paying for the ability to see what I'm doing and also to ask questions. That's what the people are paying for. Okay, then after like 2 or 3 or 4 months, they leave and they just on their own. Why pay for something, if you basically learned everything? I mean, you can't learn to ride a bike twice. Think about it. You learn to ride a bike, good, you're set. You don't need to learn it a second time. Okay, where were we? Wallet Whisperer. We already did Wally World. Did we do Wally World today? We did Wally World last night. Not much is going to change between then and now. Let's get back to Kimberly-Clark. Okay, one covered call, Kimberly-Clark, 19 December. That's next Friday. 103 call options, 168 and 10 grand. You're going to invest 10 grand. Think of it this way. Okay, now I try to get people to think of things differently because it makes it easier. If you learn to equate things in a manner that takes away the risk, well, it might make it easier. Think of it as buying a vending machine, a gumball machine, if you will. Okay, you buy a gumball machine and you put it right outside the Piggly Wiggly or the Publix or wherever you live, whatever grocery store. People come by and say, oh, I like that. Put a buck in and you just, once a week, you collect your money. You still got to pay for that machine. Okay? Same thing. We are creating weekly cash producing assets, an asset that will pay you every single week. And the kicker is never, ever, ever will I sell it for less than what I paid for it. If I paid $10,132 for it, I will never, ever, ever sell it for less. It just doesn't make sense. Only way I'm going to lose is if this company, Kimberly-Clark, which is over 100 years old, 5 decades of increased profits, if they go out of business. That's the only way I'm going to lose. So never, ever, ever buy something that you think might go out of business. Walmart, I don't think they're going out of business. Kimberly-Clark, no way. Home Depot, probably not. Lowe's, no. Bank of America, hell no. There's one in every major city. Wells Fargo, they've been in business for over 100 years. Choose wisely, young grasshopper. Who knows where that came from? A Discord group. Yep, we have that. Joey. Yep, I did it. I'm here for the vibes. Yay! Thank you there, dude. All right, so let's keep on keeping on. Let's keep on keeping on. Got to make the best of. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Calculator. All right. 168. 168 divided by the investment 10,132 comes to a grand total of 1.65. That's more than 1%. Think about it. Is it worth 10 minutes of your time every day to make 1%? Now, first starting out, you're going to be pulling your hair out because you're not making anything. But compound interest, that means this day. All right, so think of it this way. Today, I make $100. Next week, I make 101. The week after that, 102, then 103, then 107, then 111, then 130, then 167, and then 192. And it's slowly, week after week after week, it's higher and higher. It's like a snowball. As it rolls down the hill, it picks up more. And as it picks up more, it gets larger and larger and larger until you are at my point. Okay, I've been doing this since 1990. I started out with $12,000. I took a second mortgage on my house. Yeah, I did. I took a second mortgage on my house. The wife was pissed. I had the couch for a couple of days. It is what it is, you know? All right, so let's keep on doing. So 165, yeah, I'll do that. 1 is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. 2 can be as bad as 1. It's the loneliest number since the number 1. All right. 1 point, what was it again? 1.65. What do we have? Here I come to save the day. Kimberly Clark, 19 December, 103 call. Do you like Kimberly Clark? Does it make sense to you? Do you even know who Kimberly Clark is? Do you know what they do? They've been in business for over 100 years. Okay? They've been profitable for more than 5 decades. 168 the profit, 10,000 is the investment, 1.65 is the return for 1 week on a covered call. That's 6. Holy cow. 1.6. That's 6 tonight. 6, 6, 6. Let's sing the song of 6. How many is 6? Who knows where that came from? Anybody? All right. We got 2 questions over here. So Luke wants to take a look at Tootsie Roll. Did you know that Tootsie Roll is a dividend king? Tootsie Roll, dividend king. 5 decades of increased profits year after year after year. Tootsie Rolls. Let's check it out. Tootsie Roll. I forget that song. What's that? How's that song go? Tootsie Roll. There's a song, Tootsie Roll. I just not one of my favorites, so I don't really know it. All right. Anyway, TR Tootsie Roll. Oh no! Come on. Who's that one? Was that Luke? Come on, Luke. You should know better. You're part of the morning trading group. You should know why we're looking at Tootsie Roll. It's a monthly. No. MOS, Mosaic, MOS. I said a MOS, a TER, a G with a double A. I go, okay, 23.75. Here's the top. Here's the bottom. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. It's going to be a no. Wait a minute. Mosaic used to be a weekly. What the hell happened to Mosaic? It used to be a weekly. December, January, March, June. Oh, hell no. Sorry, dude. What happened there? I have no idea. It used to be a weekly. Anyway. Next, what do we got? All right. Good night. Nice seeing you. Deb, have a good night. Later, beast. I'm out. You're welcome, Joey. Have a good night, guys. Oh, it's 10:59. All right, let's see what we've got left. Don't. Okay, up, down. MC. Is 1% per week a lot? 1% per week is over 50% per year. Now, wait a second. See, up, down, I'm going to have to clarify something. All righty. We're going to make some clarifications. Okay, so we're going to go to my website, The10MinuteTrader. Nope, I'm not going to try to sell you anything, so don't run. Don't hide your wallet like I'm going to ask you to buy something. I'm not. What I want to do is I want to show you this. It's called a weekly compound interest calculator. So up, down trader, you might like this. Here it is. Weekly compound interest calculator. This didn't exist until I had to create it myself because I wanted to see, okay, if I have this much money, all right, and then I add to it on a weekly basis or a monthly basis. If I add this much to it on a monthly basis, and my interest rate, what am I making? I'm making 1% every week. So let's change that. Okay, I'm teaching you to do 1% every week. Okay, so if you put in $1,000, put in $100 a week at 1% for 1 year, what do you think that would come to? Okay, it comes to $8,400. Well, how much did you put in? Well, you only put in $6,200. Okay, the interest alone was $2,200, 30%. Okay, you put in $6,200, your interest alone was $2,200. So what is 1% a week? All right, let's do 1% a week. Okay, let's take $1, put in $0 every week. Okay, $1, not putting in anything, getting 1% every single week for 1 year. It should be, I believe it's 67. It's 68. So it's 68%. 1% every single week is a 68% rate of return. Compounded. Simple interest, it's 52%, but compounded, it's 68. Who the hell gets 68% every year? Nobody I know. Next. All right, we already did Walmart. Mikey G. Oracle took a huge hit on good earnings. I say that every time. People ask me, well, what about earnings? Yeah, what about them? Okay, Mikey G just told me. Now, I didn't verify this, so I'm going to take Mikey G's, I'm going to take his word for it, all right? Because he's been here for a while, okay? Okay, Mikey G said Oracle took a huge hit on good earnings. So the earnings were good, positive earnings, and the stock dropped. Explain that one to me. That's why I don't pay attention to earnings at all. Do you trade during the earnings week? Yeah, I do. I pay no attention to earnings whatsoever. Okay, Tufan, bull. Isn't that Webull? Okay, do they even have dividends? Top, bottom, up. Now she's coming back down. She was at $8. From $8 to $10.50. That's $2. That's 25%. I know $2 doesn't sound like a lot, but it's an $8 stock. $2 on an $8 stock is 25%. Okay, $8 shoots up to $10.50. Yeah, profit taking. It's coming down. No, I wouldn't do Webull this week because I'm not talking about you, and no, it's not advice. I'm just telling you what I would do. I wouldn't do it because you get your bottom here 3 weeks ago. Now she shoots up over 20%, 25%. Now she's coming back down again. That being said, Hollywood is in the house. Hollywood Mary, how are you doing? Mary, Mary, where are you going to? Don't you know that I want to be? Okay, Alan, on stocks that don't have dividends, how do you decide which ones to trade on? Alan, I basically very, very rarely ever buy stocks that don't have dividends. Absolute worst case scenario. Think of it this way, Alan. Absolute worst case scenario. If this stock goes from $12 down to $2, if the company is consistently profitable year after year after year, they will still increase the dividends regardless of the stock price, because the stock price doesn't have a lot to do with the dividends. Okay, it's the profits the company makes. The stock price is the public's perception of the value of the company. The value of the company actually comes through the cash flow. The dividends that come, the dividends are a portion of the company's profits. The company's profitable, the stock can still drop even if the company's profitable. It's got nothing to do with the profits of the company. The stock price can dropping. So worst case scenario, if the stock drops, at least I'll be getting a higher and higher and higher dividend. That's one of the main reasons I like dividend stocks. Now there's about 300 of them, and out of those 300, for me, there's always something for me to trade out of those 300. Every once in a while, yeah, I will buy something that doesn't have dividends, but that's usually through one of the investors saying, hey, James, buy me this. It is what it is. RTX, look at this. Winner 86 is in the house. Woohoo! Woohoo! Okay, so anyway, RTX. Didn't we take a look at RTX already? Oh, now see, I'm a little bit leery on this one. Okay, here's the top, here's the bottom, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at this. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Now she's going up. The top is here, 180. We were at 167. Now she were at 174. We only got to 181. So that's only like $7. Can we make money off that move? Well, let's zoom in. I'm a little leery of this also because look at this gap down, right? This gap up. Gaps have a tendency to fill, which means that thing should fill. But look, she shoots up, comes down, now she's going back up again. We have all the way up to here. So can we make it? 175. 175 is going for 226. Let's see what it looks like. If you like RTX, it's always going to come down to that answer. Do you like this company? Does this make sense? That's number one question. Does this make sense? Either it does or it doesn't. Luke, sorry, I was going through my watch list. Need to correct it. Yes, they did. They did used to be weeklies. I'm going to agree with you there. All right, so RTX. Last 30 days. Well, it doesn't look that bad for the last 30 days. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, nice premiums. Not bad. The 175 right there. Okay, lovely. Covered call. The 175 right there. Here's Johnny. Johnny, tell him what he's want. Whoa, no. We don't want to do 10. We want to do just one to get an idea. At the market. Here we go. Here's Johnny. Buy one covered call RTX 19 December. That's this next Friday. Not this Friday, next Friday. 175 RTX 263, 17,000. Okay, my profit, what kind of return is that going to be? Let's find out. Calculated 263 divided by 17,237. 1.52. Why not? That's going to be the last one for the night. Then we're just going to answer some questions. Okay, no more stocks. We're just going to answer questions for the rest of the night. 1.5. Okay. RTX 19 December 175 call option 263 17,000 gives me a 1.52% for 1 week. Now, I know it's hard for some people to understand jumping in for 5 or 10 minutes in the morning to let's say cultivate your money. Okay, think about it. It's your responsibility, right? Your money is your responsibility. What do you do with it? Where do you put it? You got two choices. Do it yourself or give up accountability and give it to someone else. I'm sure your bank would love to take your money invested for you. And then they will give you what they think you deserve. It's weird, but it is what it is. So that being said, 1.52 RTX, if you like the company, does it make sense? Is this something you want to buy and hold on to? It's a very simple question. Either you like it or you don't. All right, so that being said, last one of the evening. And what was it? 1.52. 1.5. So what do we got? 1.5, 1.6, 1.1, 3, 1.6, 2.7, 2%. What is that? 7? All right, so we had 7 tonight. We had 8 yesterday, 6 on Tuesday, and only 5 on Monday. So we got one more day this week, and that's tomorrow. What was this one? Oracle? Oh, Oracle's right there. Okay, so we got one more day. That's tomorrow, and that's it for the week. That being said, we're going to call it a night. I'm just going to take a look at some questions and see what I can answer for you guys. All right, what kind of questions do we have? Alrighty then, what do we got? Okay, we looked at that one. Spy dumped overnight. Okay, I don't invest in that one. Sam Fan, what's happening? Strobes, new here. GG1, good evening. Doug. NVDW, can you ask me tomorrow, dude? I'm done looking at stocks for tonight. Do you have stocks that drop a lot so covered call options make no sense no more? How much in percentage it just disappeared? Where the hell did it go? JMF, thank you. All right, I was just reading. All right. Makes no more sense no more. How much in percentage are like these? Ooh, this year I got one. One. I think it's Macy's. I was on the wrong side. Okay, Steve and Rose, we just looked at RTX not even 15 minutes ago. Rudy, how you doing? Mac Manaman. Mac Manaman, how are you today? Robert, we already looked at Amazon earlier. Wallet Whisperer, how you doing? Happy Girl, 61. Yay! We didn't look at Verizon tonight. We can look at it tomorrow. Costa Nostra, Nail, tomorrow. Steve, GSAT, tomorrow. My best investment was my home. Sweet Dan, that's not an investment. Sweet Dan, that's not an investment. That is a liability. Anything that takes money out of your pocket on a monthly basis is not an asset. It is a liability. Okay? Let's keep on keeping on. Do you always keep certain percentage in cash? Nope. Steve, GSAT will get tomorrow. IVR tomorrow. Gorgeous T33, thank you. Silo Space Studios. Robert Thames, good evening, Robert. Haven't caught you in a while. Hope you're well, and thank you for educating every night. Yay, that's me. Oh, is that Big Papa? Big Papa Grande's in the house. If I invested on a stock and it drastically drops, would it be possible to owe money? No. Oh, wait a minute. If you bought it on margin, yes. Okay. I always tell people, do not do margin until you understand the risks and you are okay with the risks, because you can really get burned on that. How often do your calls get executed by the buyer? Do you care if that happens? Don't care at all, Tony. How you doing, Tony? See, the thing is, Tony, if I buy it for $100 and I sell a covered call for someone to buy it from me at $100, I'm not losing any money on that scenario, but I am making money on the option, which is what I'm looking to do anyway. And my goal is only 1% per week. So buying it for $100, selling it for $100, normally that's usually 1% or more in an option consideration. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the option premium, and it's usually 1% or higher. Hope that makes sense, Tony. What else you got? Bro, this guy still, everything is flipped. Yeah. Ooh, you're going to like this. Today, somebody shared with me a possible way of fixing it. So we're going to try checking it out tomorrow. It might work, it might not. I'm not sure. But I got a link to a video that tells me how to flip the camera on YouTube. So we're going to try that out tomorrow. So hopefully it'll be better. But I've been doing this for over 10 years, and nobody's ever came up with an idea or a solution to invert the camera on YouTube. I've been doing it for 11. I get 1,300 videos on YouTube, and they're all backward. Well, most of them are backwards. The one I do on my phone are all backwards, but the one I do on the computer is not backwards. So you're on the YouTube channel that is backwards. The other YouTube channel is not backwards. Okay, we got 9 different channels. You pick this one. All right. Southern Company. Ooh, Ben, I like Southern Company. Is crypto a terrible investment? Emery Perez. Emery Perez, my knowledge on crypto is limited, but what is coming right down the pike is that I think the Biden administration signed an executive order initiating the U.S. digital dollar. That was 4 years ago. So yeah, the digital dollar is coming, whether you want it to or not. You got no choice in the matter. You're basically sucked into this bitch. And trust me, it's going to be a bitch, because every single penny you have, every single dollar you have is going to be converted to a digital dollar. Digital. Do you know what that means? That means some ass snacker in Washington doesn't like what you just said online. Clickety, clickety, your money's gone. It happened in Canada. You remember a couple of years ago where the truckers did something? Yeah, well, the Canadian government went into their bank accounts and froze their accounts. That's what the digital dollar is coming to. That's why I'm doing my own cryptocurrency. My own. I'm not investing in crypto. I don't buy and sell crypto. I'm creating my own crypto. So my company is creating its own cryptocurrency. So that will enable me to utilize my own money without the government getting their little greedy fingers on it, because they won't have access to it. So you got to keep that in mind also. But the US digital dollar, yeah, they have access to that, and they can freeze your account if they want to. So that's why I'm creating my own. All right. Invest, blah, blah, blah. I haven't caught the cake at that one. How do you find my books? Well, my books are on my webpage somewhere. I have to get a new webpage. You know, I always get people asking me, can I do your webpage over? Yeah, you can. But then they want to give me this huge bill. I said, no, it is the way it is. You know, I'm not really that interested in it. Thank you, user. 8634615. Why didn't your parents name you that? Why couldn't they name you like Steve or Peter? I'm a Godwin George. I'm a Godwin George. What are your thoughts on the Oracle dip? I'm surprised I have to go into this. Seriously, I am. Let's pull it up and I'll show you the Oracle dip. ORCL. Okay. Now, who came up with this one? George. All right, George, here's the high of the year. Here is the low of the year, Mr. George. Okay, let's forget all that. Let's look at this area right here, because this is what today and yesterday was. Okay. Now, George, the top right here is, what is it? It is 247. 247. Then she drops down to here, to right there, 185. Okay, so George, from this 185 to where we are now, all right? Count, George. Let's see if you can count. 185 to 223. You got that, George? 185 to 223. Okay, 185 to 200 is 15 bucks. From 200 to 223 is 23 bucks. Add them together. What do you come up with? 15 and 23 is 48 bucks. Okay, she jumped up 50 bucks from here to there. 50 bucks on a, what was it, $180 stock? 50 bucks on a $180 stock. Dude, that's more than 25%. Of course it's going to come down. It's called profit taking. The stock jumps up 25%. Yeah, it's going to come down. What were you expecting? Were you expecting it to keep going up? It doesn't work that way because you got people like me and some of the people in the audience. You buy something and it jumps up 10%, 15%, 20%, 25%. When are you going to take your profits? Because the funny thing about profits, number one, it ain't a profit until you take it. And guess what? It jumped up 25%, and a whole bunch of people said, yep, I'm taking that. And what happens? The stock drops. So what happens? The stock drops, it gets back down here again, then we jump in all over again. And it's the same thing over and over again. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. Of course it was going to go down. A 25% increase, what did you think was going to happen? Got a low battery. Does that make sense, George? George? Hello? Fair enough, you got that? So the idea is, George, if you have it, okay, if you have it, don't sell it. Okay, it will bounce back and go back up. That's all they do. Let's do this. Hold on. Okay, George, check this out. Okay, down, up, 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 down, up. Do you see what's happening, George? That's what it does. Here, it went down, big jump up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and now it's coming back down again. Okay, how do I find my books? Most of the books are on Amazon, and I've been saying this for 6 or 8 months. I do have to get the new website. You know, people keep saying you need a new website. Yes, of course I do. It's the same one for the past 15 years. Southern Company got that one. Crypto is crypto. Crypto's not really a terrible investment, but it depends on what you plan on doing with it. Are you going to invest in it in order to use it? Because if you get your money out of the U.S. dollar and you go into crypto, well, it's separate. The federal government can't touch it. Okay, you leave it in dollars, you leave it in the U.S. dollar. Yeah, they can take it away from you, but crypto they can't. But what are you doing with the crypto? Are you actually going to use it as currency, or are you using it as speculation? And there is a huge difference. See, I'm creating my own crypto, but I'm using it utilitarian-wise, which means I'm going to pay my bills with it. I'm not going to use cash. Okay, I'm going to use my crypto. My crypto gets converted to a stable coin, and the stable coin goes and pays my bills. Well, I get my money, and my money goes back to the stable coin, back to my own crypto, and I hold it in my own crypto because the federal government can take the money. If it's in a U.S., what do you call that? USDT, U.S. digital dollar, they can take it away from you. Okay, can freeze it, but they can't touch my crypto because it's totally separate. That makes sense? What do we have next? Next question. Good. You got that one, Tony? That's what I thought. You're right, Mr. Tony. Please list off today's trades. Wow, I'm subscribing. Emery Perez, thanks. Today's list, and then I'm going to call it a day. Now, I want you to understand this. Okay? First and foremost, don't get any funny ideas. Number one, this is being recorded. So listen closely when I say this. These are suggestions by you guys. These are not my suggestions. I do not give tips. I do not give advice. The only advice I give is don't stick your head out too far. It might go home in another car. That's good advice. Number two is paper trade first. Perfect it before. Why don't you just hold a stable coin? Because, Dr. Dev, I have no control over a stable coin. Number two is if I create my own cryptocurrency, right? It starts out with like a 1/1000th of a penny. So I can buy a whole bunch of them. And it's connected. See, the coins that I'm going to create are connected to a stable coin. So I don't want to buy stable coins because they've already increased in value. Okay, so remember, when you create a cryptocurrency, okay, you get like that's like 20 million. So at a click of a button, boom, there was zero, now there's 20 million. They ain't worth shit, but they are connected to a stablecoin, which gives them value. So first starting out, you heard the story about somebody bought a pizza for 30,000 Bitcoin. This was, decades ago when they're like 10, 15 cents a piece. But it became useful. So yeah, my cryptocurrency is going to be worth almost nothing, but it will have some value. And that value I can take and I can pay my electric bill. I can pay my mortgage. I can pay my credit cards. Okay, I can pay my employees because it goes from my crypto, which I own, which I create, then it gets transferred from my coin to a stable coin to US dollars. So you say you want $100, fine. Click, 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 boom, there you go. Automatically, the what do you call it? I want to call it a bot, but it's not really. It's an app that converts my crypto to the stable coin. So behind the scenes, the app is buying this, selling that, buying this, selling that. Boom, now you have cash. Great. The other way around, great. You give me cash, it can convert it into a crypto, which can get converted to a stable, which can get converted into my own crypto, which goes into my wallet, which I hold separately so nobody can get touch of it. Okay, but as I continue to use it, it slowly increases in value. So I'm buying something for like 1/1000th of a penny, and eventually it'll get up to, $1, $2, or $3, eventually 10, 20 years from now. Well, that's my plan. I got a 20-year plan. Okay, you guys just so happen to be here in year number 2. Okay, this is year number 2 of my plan. So at the end of this year, I will have a full 2 full years of standing in front of the camera sharing this information with you. Okay. Now I've been sharing information since 2011, but I didn't step in front of the camera until 2 years ago. So all of 2024, every single day, I stood in front of the camera saying, "Hey, hi, hello," all that kind of stuff. And this year, I said, no Friday nights, no Saturday nights. So think about this. Last year, 365 days, I was live every single night except for 6. And the reason why I missed 6 days last year, number one, I was sick as a dog. Second one, somebody I cared for very much had to be rushed to the emergency room. That's 2. The last four, we had that hurricane. Okay, so last year we had the hurricane. No water, no electricity, no internet, no telephone for 4 days. Okay, did I die? No, I'm a Gen Xer. We can, I was fine. Didn't bother me a bit. Anyway, that being said, what else do we have? Alrighty, I think that's it. All right, wait a couple more. They can't take that away from you. Okay, yeah, but see, the number is already there. You remember the rhyme, yeah. Interesting proposition. I'll continue to think about it. Well, think of this, Dr. Dev. Now, it depends on what kind of doctor you are. It depends on how much cash flow you coming into your business. Think of it this way. Dr. Dev's cryptocurrency. Let's call it triple D. DDD. Dr. Dev, Devil, whatever. Triple D, okay? Double D makes sense. Triple D, whoa. My mind went somewhere else. So you triple D coin, right? Let's say hypothetically you take that triple D coin and you pay what? It has a valuation of like 1/1000th of a penny. So you need 1,000 of them to make a buck. All right, fine, big deal. So what? So you use that, and the more you use it, once it gets to $60,000, okay, once you use it, $60,000. Let's say the rent in your office is $2,000 a month. So if you pay it with your crypto, that's 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, and then you pay your employees with all your crypto. Now remember, it goes from crypto to stable to cash. Triple D, my new nickname. Here you go, Triple D. So it goes from your crypto to stable to cash. So your employees don't know any different. Your landlord doesn't know any different. Okay? So you pay 2,000, 2,500, whatever it is, of your crypto. Now that goes into your register as $2,500 of utilitarian use. Once you get to 60,000, it moves from the secondary market to the primary market. And at the primary market, there's literally hundreds of millions of people that could be buying your triple D coin. And remember, you bought the original Triple D coins at 1/1000th of a dollar. So as the more you use it, it increases in value. And those ones that you bought for 1/1000th of a dollar, well, now they're worth $1. So you just made like $1,000, $2,000 return on your money with the same money you were paying anyway. And all you did was pay a little fee from transferring it from your own coin into cash. That's all it is. Okay, a little app on your phone. All right, let's pay this guy. Boom, there you go. They're paid. It's just like the cash or a credit card. Now, you might be old enough to remember this. Will that be cash or a credit card? Years ago, growing up, will it be cash or a credit card? Wait a minute. Years ago, it used to be cash or check. I'm talking many, many, many years ago. For those of you who don't know, some of you might know. Many years ago, how do you want to pay for that? Is that cash or check? That was it. You had two choices, cash or check. Then they came up with credit cards, cash, check, credit card. Then they came up with something else, cash, check, credit card, PayPal. Well, then they come cash, check, credit card, PayPal, Cash App, or Zelle, or whatever. So now it's cash, check, credit card, PayPal, Zelle, Cash App, crypto. Okay, all it is another way of paying your bills, if that's the way in which you're going to use it. I don't invest in cryptocurrency, but I do use it. Well, I haven't used it yet, but I'm going to be using it all of 2026. And I think by the end of this year, I will have my own cryptocurrency created, and you'll be able to buy one if you want, or 100 or 1,000 or however many. Triple D, you have a good day. All right, what else do we have? Venmo. That's another one. Venmo. Yeah, you have a list. Okay, I remember. I do. I'm old enough to remember. Is that cash or check? That was it. Cash or check. Then went cash, check, credit card. Now cash, check, credit card, Venmo, PayPal, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Cryptocurrency is just another way of paying, just exchanging dollars. That's all it is. But find one, stick with one. Don't keep going back and forth if you're going to use it in that manner. All right, question. Celsius, we'll take a look at that tomorrow. No risk of loss if you have nothing to lose. Thank you for that, Nephilim. Joe Necco, hey James, how are you? I am delightful. Yeah, but you're selling at the money, so you have no stock appreciation. Okay, Big Bob, or Big Blob. Is that right? Big Blob? Okay, I'm not looking for appreciation. You missed that part. I'm 62, 61, I'm going to be 62 soon. I'm not looking for appreciation. There's no way on God's green earth am I going to take a chunk of my money and put it into anything. I don't care what it is, and just watch it grow. No, I want cash flow. There's over 300 companies that will give me exactly what I'm looking for. So why not? Ooh, Big Blob. Ask and you shall receive. I'm looking for a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. That's all 50% per year. It takes me 5 or 10 minutes to do everything I need to do in order to make that nice. I'm a god, George. I'm not 100% sure if the conversion fee on the long run, but think of it this way. All right. Number one, I have safety because nobody can access my coins. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I have the ability to go from nothingness to whatever it turns out to be in 20 years from now. Yeah, there's going to be a small fee for the conversion, but then again, you got to pay the fee if it's a credit card. You got to pay the fee if it's a checking account. And with the new digital dollar, if you didn't read the fine print enough, if you don't use your money, you can lose it. Isn't that weird? It has a timer on it, a self-decaying timer on your money. It's like some of those. Do you remember those gift cards a few years back? You'd be able to buy a gift card, and if you don't use it, eventually it'll go to zero just through time. Same thing. I don't mind paying the fee because no journey is too great when one finds what one seeks. If I can have autonomy, complete autonomy from the federal government, they can't touch my money, and I can create whatever I want, within reason, of course, I'm all for it. I don't mind the small fee. Okay. So, Bob, yeah, I'm not looking for capital appreciation. I'm looking for cash flow. Okay. I said it right from the beginning. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent, 1% per week. I'm looking for cash flow, not capital appreciation. All right. I'm 62 years old. Where do you hell think the money's going to come to pay my bills? It's got to come from somewhere. And I have no desire to buy some stocks and just watch it grow, because watching it grow doesn't help me pay my bills. Super Dave. So just wait. So just a waiting game on the Oracle. Now that it's dropped 25 bucks after. Absolutely. Think about it, Dave. All right. Where is Oracle? Yeah, we can't see it. We won't be able to see it until tomorrow. Because right now, it looks pretty freaking awesome. Okay. Look at Oracle. Okay. Here's the top. Here's the bottom. Now she's going up. That was today right there. After hours, it dropped. Well, awesome. At some point, okay, it will turn around and go back up again. That's what I'm looking for. Eric, hey, Super, I know your pain. Yeah. Captain, how? Okay, Captain, I'm not quite sure what you mean by how, because those three little letters don't really mean anything once I, off somewhere else. I just did a 215 put, but still not good. Okay. Thank you, Exsolved. Doug, can you look at NVDW tomorrow? You own 200 of them, rolled twice, so the covered call should give me some release. Yes, it should. Look at that. Chicken Man is the only one to know who it came from. My little grasshopper. Yes, young grasshopper. He's right. Kung Fu. Kwai Chang Kang. I remember that. Your call option is that you are betting the stock will go up to a specific dollar amount. Not necessarily, Catherine. Okay? Seems like gambling. Okay, Catherine, I'm going to pick on you for just a little bit just because it's going to be fun. Okay? You're kind of right and you're kind of wrong. Let me see if I can explain it to you in a manner in which you'll understand. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this. Back to single. Okay? I'm going to pick another one because that one already dropped. Let's go to AT&T. Whoops. All right, Catherine. Ugh, not that one. Ford. Oh. Okay, Miss Catherine, are you ready? Here's Ford right here, 1340. Let's say, hypothetically, Miss Catherine, I like Ford. If I buy Ford at the current price, 1341, and I sell the 1350, I could pick up 18 cents. Now, I know 18 cents is not a lot of money, but ask yourself a question. Number one, do I know who Ford is? Do I know what they make? How long have they been in business? Do I really think they're going to disappear anytime soon? Those are interesting questions. So hypothetically speaking, if I buy Ford, right, I'm not betting if it goes up or down. I could care less if it goes up or down. My concern, Catherine, okay, my concern is if I do buy it at 1341 and I do sell somebody the rights to buy it from me at 1350, how much are they paying me? They're paying me 18 cents a share. Now that's more than 1.5%. I'm perfectly okay with that. Stock goes up, fine, they'll take it away from me. Stock goes down, I don't care because I want to buy the stock anyway. Remember rule one, never buy something you're not willing to hold on to? So if I buy Ford, I now own it. Let's say I buy 500 shares. I now have 5 contracts. So whether the stock is at 13 or whether it is at 12, it's irrelevant because if I own 5 contracts, I honestly don't care what the price is because I can sell in the money, I can sell at the money, or I can sell out of the money, whichever one makes sense. And if I'm looking at it every single day, what am I buying it for? What am I selling? Where's it at now? Where's it going? What should I do? I do that every single day. Now, it may sound like gambling to you, maybe because you haven't been doing it long enough. So let's look at it this way. I have no idea what you do. I don't. So it's kind of hard for me to come up with a metaphor or an analogy if I don't know very much about you. But look at it this way. I'm not a surgeon. I'm not a doctor of any way, shape, or form. None. So would it be gambling if somebody came to me and asked me to do brain surgery? Yes, that is gambling. I know nothing about it. But if I had gone to school for 20, 30 years to learn how to do brain surgery, coming to me say, hey, can you do brain surgery? Sure. Is that gambling? No, because I'm good at it. Okay, so I've been doing this for over 30 years. So I'm pretty good at what I do. All right, I'm looking for a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week, specifically with companies that I know and I watch what they're doing. The top is here, the bottom's here. She shoots up, she comes down, now she's going up again. Does that make sense? If everything makes sense, if everything is leaning towards my favor, everything is odds and probabilities in my favor, is that gambling? It's only gambling when you don't know what it is you're doing. Okay, so if you're a cook, okay, fine. Well, I have no problem putting you behind the grill. Yeah, you're a professional cook. Go ahead and cook. But no, if you're a plumber, I ain't going to give you my, no. It all depends on the amount of time and effort you put in to whatever you're going to do. So, yeah, I got 30 years behind the keyboard making money. So I don't think it's risky and I don't think it's gambling because I know what I'm doing. Now, for somebody new to come in and do things that they don't know what they're doing, yeah, that's gambling. I always tell people, if you're going to play this game, paper trade first. It's kind of like playing Monopoly. 4 greenhouses, 1 red hotel. Go round and round and round, round and round, round she goes. Where she stopped, nobody knows. So is it really gambling, Catherine? Is it? If I know what I'm doing, and I've been doing it for 3 decades, it's not gambling for me. Now, somebody new, it might be gambling for them. So I always tell people, go slow. Take your time. Stock market's been around for over 400 years. It ain't going anywhere. Take your time. Learn. Be patient. All right. Next. Before your time. Yes, Mr. Unemployed. Thank you. Makes me feel older. What investment platform do you prefer? I like Thinkorswim. It's through Charles Schwab. Now, I use Charles Schwab and I also use Robinhood. I like Robinhood. It's right at my fingertips. I can go clickety clickety make money. Okay. I can be at a stoplight and go clickety clickety make money. Okay. I can be out at the bank while the wife is inside getting some money. Whatever. I got a minute or two. Fine. I'll take my stocks. Take a blah blah. Yeah, not a problem. I love Robinhood. It's right at my fingertips. If your stock drops, you keep the stock and you make the premium. Thank you, Nephilim. Rob, we looked at FISV a while ago. It was a no back then. It's going to be a no again. Sent heart, thank you. That was nice of you. JFM, thank you. All right, Cosa Nostra. Nail it. Take a look at it tomorrow. What are the names of my books? Ooh, book number 1, I think, is well, you realize I've written these books like 15 to 16 years ago. The first one is how to get 10 to 20 checks per month like clockwork. That's my very first one. Then the next one was dividends on steroids. That was cool. I talked about dividend capturing. So you have dividend capturing 2.0. Then it went to investing in dividend stocks, and then it was how to retire like a millionaire. That was a good one. They're online on what do you call that damn thing? No, not eBay. What's the other one? Not Netflix. Amazon. It's like drawing a blank. I get the picture of the truck in my head with the big smiley face. Amazon, yeah, okay. Dave, you have a consistent strategy with result data behind it. Ooh, Dave. Hold on a second. Dave, you're going to love this. You're going to like this, Mr. Dave. All right, so I'm going to show you 2024, which was last year. It's not what I'm going to show you, all the trades from last year. What I want to show you is this down here. Mr. Dave. Right there, Mr. Dave. What do you think? Starting date, August 31st, 2011. That's how long I've been doing this online. Now, I started first investing in the 1990s, and it was about 2011 when they first came out with those blog posts. Everybody was doing blogs. Oh, you get a blog, you get a blog, you get a blog. Yeah, great. Well, I had a blog, 2011. Okay? And I still, believe it or not, I still have access to this blog. I still have all that information. Slide down a little bit further. Here we go. Check this out. What do we have there? This is July 6, 2013. There was a huge drop in the past few weeks. We took a break from trading, waited the dust to settle. We didn't take any losses this year, blah, 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 blah. But I did a weekly update every single week on all the trades that I did. So, yeah, I've been doing this for a while. Do I do after hours trades? No, I don't. Thank you there, Mr. Dave. That's it. All the questions are done. Okay, who's this one right here? Luke. Ooh, Luke, 3M. Okay, Luke, we'll look at 3M tomorrow morning. Remind me, okay? And you want me to read them out loud, Luke? Really? Okay, for tonight, what do we have? Tonight, we have Amazon. Whoops. Okay, Amazon, Dow, Pepsi, Harley Davidson, Procter & Gamble, Kimberly-Clark, RTX. That's it. Hold on a second. Let's take a look. Kimberly-Clark, Dividend King, 5 decades of profits. Procter & Gamble, over 100 years old. Dividend King, over 5 years of profits. Harley Davidson, over 100 years old. American icon. Pepsi, Dividend King, over 100 years old. 5 decades of increased profits. Dow, the differences aren't that great, but they are over 100 years old. And Amazon, I don't do Amazon because they don't have dividends. Okay, there you go. Catch you guys all in the morning. I'm out of here. You guys have a great night. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friends, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, for which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled east.